guys? Jim here, back with another vlog tutorial. I don't know what you want to call this, a vlog tutorial maybe. But anyway, today is one of the last nice days of summer probably. It's like 27, 28 degrees. There's a car show tonight over at the Pony Corral, where the Corvette Club is the feature club, so that's why I am heading out in the 61 behind me there. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about automotive photography, particularly with the Nifty 50, the 50mm f1.8 Sony E-mount lens, which this applies to Nikon or to Canon or to Olympus or to anybody else as well. Almost every camera brand has a Nifty 50, which is basically just a 50mm fast at about 1.8 that's under $200 or $300. So let's head over to the Pony and let's get some shots and teach you how to do it. Okay, so we've made it to the Pony Corral now. We are actually not the feature club tonight. It's the Jeep Club, as you might be able to see behind me. They asked us to come out and kind of be a second feature. Like normal, the Corvette Club represents hard. We got probably 60 vets here already. We got more rolling in. Here's Colleen. What? Just pull in here, yeah. Just a second. No problem. Okay, like I was saying, that was Colleen. I just had to go let her in. But I'm gonna go inside, grab some food first, and then I'm gonna come out and shoot a bunch of photos with the Nifty 50 and a bunch of different angles, a bunch of different detailed shots of the car, general shots, and see what we can do with it. And then I'll go over them afterwards about what I was looking for, what I was doing, and what types of setting I was using for that. So let's go eat and then let's go take some photos. Alright guys, so I am back at my desk here. As you can see, I've got all the photos loaded into Lightroom. I've got them all edited. Everything is looking minty. I'm just going to toss the photos up on the screen here, and I'm just going to talk about what I was looking for when taking that photo, just to step your game up just that little bit. So my first tip is to get low. All cars have a nice body line, usually going somewhere from the headlight right through the side, down the side panel, down the door, down the quarter, and right through the trunk lid or the rear tail lights. See how I get nice and low and I'm sitting around the tail light height, and that gets me so that the body lines of all the vehicle right down the side here are all the way down right in the middle of the screen and middle of the frame. It makes just a really nice look on it, a lot different than just standing at head height and shooting that. Now you also see that on the next photo here, where it's just the same car, but it's once it's parked, and from the front you see I got nice and low and got right about the height of the headlights. So when you're looking at it, that big plane as the hood ornament there is looking you smack dab in the middle of the lens. Tip number one would be to get low and get right on par, on level with those headlights, the body line. There's gonna be a chrome piece, there's gonna be just a one little kink in the fender, something like that, like a body line. Find that, get that height, and shoot low, and you'll get an infinitely better shot. Even if it's a 3/4 shot, head-on shot, or from the backside, it's gonna be way better. My second tip here is to use foreground. So if you notice on the left side of this photo, you see what looks to be a red bumper of a car or something like that, which is exactly what it is. All I did was get behind the bumper of the car there and use it as foreground. It helps to add depth to the photo, and also shows off that fast 1.8 aperture to the lens to have that nice blown out bokeh in the foreground and the bokeh in the background. So depth of field, add something to the foreground. A bumper works great, once again, because following tip number one, I'm nice and low and I'm at that bumper height, I'm at tail light height, so that way I get a nice angle of the car. So use bumpers, use headlights, use whatever you can to create foreground for your photo. Second photo here that I'm showing you, using foreground, same thing. I shot both of these into the sun as well, to try to get some of those lens flares, which this lens reproduces actually quite nicely given its price point. You can see them there. So for this one, I got down low, And then once again, shot into the sun, just having it peek over the spoiler a little bit there, just to create a little bit of lens flaring. Continuing on with tip number 2, with using foreground. These photos here, I got 3 of them. When trying to shoot the inside of a car, say you're at a car show, or you want to show off the details of a hand-stitched steering wheel, or a hand-stitched dash, or really cool gauges on an old car or a new car, I would recommend shooting from outside the car into the car. This can really help with, once again, getting the foreground. So going back to, or staying on tip number 2, using that foreground to show off the depth of field using that fast 1.8 aperture of the Nifty 50. Using the windshield of the car, or I'm using the B-pillar, I'm using the trunk lid to shoot through, or I'm using the steering wheel and shooting the gauges through it. Just get creative. Get something in the foreground, create that depth of field. And tip number 3 that I'll give you is, if you have a fast lens like an f1.8, use it. You can really push your camera then at nighttime. So the sun was clearly already set here, but I put it at 1.8. I didn't have to bump my ISO a ton. I just lowered my shutter to whatever I could lower it to and still keep it steady with my hands. All these shots were handheld. But then I'm able to get these nice nighttime kind of the blue hour shots. Where this one here, I'm also utilizing the 50mm, the little bit longer range, to show the car in the distance. A nighttime shot that I took. I got nice and close to the car as it was coming by, and with the 50, it's actually quite a sharp lens, especially for its price point. Using that 1.8, I got the focus tack sharp on the close headlight there. That way the rest of the car is out of focus. So next time you're out at a car show, try to use some of these tips. Use these tips in all sorts of photography, by the way, too. With a fast lens, like an f1.8 lens, try to find foreground in everything you're doing. The foreground really adds to the photo. And as you saw here, makes a big difference when shooting cars. Alright guys, so I hope you learned something from this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe please, that would be great. Go check me out on Instagram at jim.m4. And if you take any cool photos with your Nifty 50, or with any lens for that matter, any cool car photography or anything, tag me. I'd love to see what you guys are taking. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Peace.